right? So you all can give your attendance. Okay, we'll start.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Right. So the previous class we had discussed about the modes of shear failure. There are three types of failures in foundations. They are the general shear failure, local shear failure, and punching shear failure. So these three modes of failure we have discussed in the previous class. So these are the three modes of failure: the shear, general shear, local shear, and the punching shear. And corresponding to these failures, the graph also plotted the load versus settlement. In general shear failure, the failure mode was catastrophic or sudden, where we can easily identify the ultimate bearing capacity can be easily noticed, or well-defined ultimate bearing capacity here. So in other two cases, it was progressive collapse, or you can say the progressive failure of the foundation. So these three failure modes were discussed in the previous class. Okay, so these are the failure modes we have discussed. Okay, also some of the important definitions. They are the ultimate bearing capacity, net bearing capacity, even net ultimate bearing capacity, and gross safe bearing capacity. So these things we have discussed in the previous class. So you have to remember these definitions. So these again some of the definitions. So coming to the Tarzagi's bearing capacity theory here. So this is a very important, as I'm going to derive the equation here. This is very important. You can note it down. This is a very important Tarzagi's bearing capacity theory. So today I'm going to derive that equation here, Tarzagi's bearing capacity. So here he will derive the equation that is for ultimate bearing capacity of the soil, how much it should be for different types of footings, and certain assumptions he'll make before deriving the equation. So we'll discuss about the assumptions also. And this is the failure mode of foundation according to the Tarzagi. So these are the zones of failure of foundation according to the Tarzagi. Then after considering those zones of failure, finally he will obtain an equation, that is ultimate bearing capacity equation. This is the equation. So we need to get finally this equation. The Q ultimate is ultimate bearing capacity is equal to CNC plus Q into NQ plus 0.5 gamma B into N gamma. Okay, so this is the equation we need to get finally, and this equation to be modified later for different shapes of footing. So that also we'll discuss later. And here this is the generalized form of Tarzagi's bearing capacity equation. So it was developed in the year 1943 as a theory for continuous and stiff foundations. And he considered the simplest 2D problem only, and 2D analysis he has done. And this is a Q ultimate, and Q ultimate will be what? CNC gamma D into NQ 0.5 gamma dash N B N into gamma. So this is what we call as a contribution of shear strength, that is a cohesion of soil, surcharge, that is overburden pressure, and also the soil self weight to be considered here. And these all aspects he has considered, and he has given the equation for calculating the ultimate bearing capacity of the foundation, or I can call it ultimate bearing capacity of the soil. Again, this equation he has extended to some shapes of foundation, that is for the strip footing and for the round or the square or rectangle, and he has considered some of the factors. So those factors also we'll discuss later. Again here, square, circular, some of the equations he has derived. And again, the Tarzagi's bearing capacity factors. So about these all we'll discuss in today's class. Okay, all of you please note it down whatever I'm saying here. So this first we'll discuss about the assumptions of the. Okay, you all can see this paper.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So let us discuss about the assumptions what he has made before deriving the ultimate bearing capacity of the foundation or the soil. What assumption he has made? Please, all of you note it down also. The base of the footing he considered as a rough. First thing, he considered the base of the footing as a rough. Then the foundation lies in a shallow depth. He took the foundation for the shallow depth, and only the Terzaghi's bearing capacity equation is valid for the shallow depth. These are the assumptions he made. Okay. Also, the footing is long. That is L by B ratio. If you take, it should be infinite. The footing is long. That is L by B ratio is infinite, where L is the length of the footing and B is the width of the footing. So he considered the long footing, infinite footing. And the fourth assumption what he made, the shear strength of the soil above the base of the footing. The shear strength of the soil above the base of the footing is neglected. So he neglected above the base of the footing, whatever the shear strength comes. So he has neglected that one. And the soil above the base of the footing is replaced. The soil above the base of the footing is replaced by an equilibrium surcharge gamma into dF. And the load on the footing is vertical, and he considered the load which is acting on the footing is vertical and is uniformly distributed over the footing. This is the fifth assumption he made. And the sixth assumption, the soil obeys the Mohr-Coulomb equation. So the Mohr-Coulomb equation, you might have heard the Mohr-Coulomb equation for the bearing capacity of the soil. The soil should obey the Mohr-Coulomb equation. And also the seventh assumption what he has made, the soil mass is homogeneous and isotropic. What do you mean by homogeneous and isotropic?
Homogeneous is uniformly mixed, or it has same properties.
Yes, correct, exactly. What do you mean by isotropic?
Isotropic, I think it is symmetric something. So I don't know isotropic.
Means similar properties in all the directions.
Okay, sir.
That is called isotropic. He has assumed this one, soil mass is a homogeneous and isotropic. And the failure mode is, he assumed the general shear failure. As you know how the general shear failure, as I discussed in the previous class, right? So he assumed the failure mode is general shear failure. So with these assumptions, let us derive the equation for bearing capacity for soil. Okay. So for this, we required some terminologies. That is what is the gross pressure definition, and also the gross pressure means, as I discussed in the previous class, it includes the surcharge, that is the weight due to the soil, self weight of the footing, and also the live load which is coming on the column. So that is the gross, and the net will be it's a minus the surcharge, that is the net. Then ultimate bearing capacity, that the net ultimate bearing capacity you need to understand. Then the net safe bearing capacity we required. Then the gross safe bearing capacity, as I discussed in the previous class. So these basics we need later for using the ultimate bearing capacity equation of Terzaghi's. Okay. So let us start deriving the equation. So first, what he has considered a long strip footing, and as a base of the footing he has assumed as a rough. Okay, so we'll draw the first one. You also draw along with me. So he considered the foundation. I'm drawing here. This is the column, and this is the ground level, and this width of the footing is B. Width of the footing is B, and depth of the footing has taken dF. Depth of the footing is dF, and according to the Terzaghi, the loaded soil which fails. So after applying the load, so the load is acting here. After applying the load, the loaded soil, whatever the soil beneath the foundation, it will fail. That failure pattern he has given, that I am going to draw now. I hope you all can see the whatever I am writing here, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So let us consider the width of the footing as a B, the load coming on the column as a Q. You can take it Q or QU, load coming on the column. And he as I said, the failure pattern he has taken as general shear failure. So this is one. Then he considered like this. Okay. Then we'll discuss about what are these. I'll mark here. Okay. This is A, B, and C. This is F, D, E, and G. Okay. And also you mark the overburden pressure due to the soil present above the footing. This is the ground level. Here the soil is present, the soil which is having a specific weight gamma. So due to this soil, so this footing is subjected to this pressure. Okay. So you can say this is gamma QU, the load acting over the footing. I hope you all are taking.
Yes, sir.
Then the angle of shear resistance, this is pi, and this angle is 45 minus pi by 2. Again this angle is 45 minus pi by 2. Again this angle is same, again 45 minus pi by 2. This angle is also same, 45 minus pi by 2. Okay. Then according to Terzaghi, the failure of soil, he has divided into a zones, zone 1, 2, 3. He called this as a zone 1. This is zone 2 and zone 3. 3 zones of failure. Similarly, this part, triangular part, again, as I divided into 2 equal parts, this triangle. So I get 2 parts here. Again, from this side, 1, 2, and 3. 3 zones of failure. And what are these zones? He called these zones, the first zone is triangular zone. He called this one, this part, he called as a rigid zone or rigid body, or you can call it a triangular zone, triangular zone. Second zone he called as a shear zone, or you can call it a zone of radial shear, shear zone or zone of radial shear. And the third one he called passive zone, passive zone, or Rankine's passive zone. You can call it as a Rankine's passive zone. Okay. And as the Terzaghi has made an assumption that the base of the footing is rough. Here the base of the footing is rough. So because of that, the soil in the wedge, if you take the A, B, C as a wedge shape, that is a triangular portion, whatever the soil is present, that is in wedge ABC, immediately beneath the footing is prevented from undergoing any lateral yield. It won't undergo any lateral yield, and the soil in this wedge zone or the zone 1 remains in a state of elastic equilibrium. This won't undergo any lateral movement, because as the footing has been assumed here is a rough, it will not undergo any lateral movement. So the whatever the soil is present in this wedge, it will be in a state of elastic equilibrium, and it behaves as if it were a part of the footing itself. And this wedge of the soil, whatever present in this triangular portion, it will behave as if it is a part of the footing. And it is assumed that the angle CAB and angle BCA are equal. These angles are equal. CAB and angle BCA are equal here. They are called as the angle of shearing resistance pi. They are called as angle of shearing resistance pi, pi of the soil. And also the sloping edges. These are the sloping edges AB and BC. Sloping edges AB and CB of the soil wedge ABC. The sloping edges, I am talking about the sloping edges AB and CB of soil wedge ABC, which bear against the radial shear zones. That is, radial shear zones are what here? CBD, that is CBD and AFB are the radial shear zones. These are called as the radial shear zones. And the curves, if you take this BD, this curve BD and curve BF, BD and BF are the arcs of logarithmic spiral. They are called as the arcs of logarithmic spiral. Okay. So these are the how the Terzaghi has divided the entire failure of soil into 3 zones. I hope it's clear to you all. You all have taken this one?
Yes, sir.
Now, according to the Terzaghi, you can write it. I'll write here. You also write. According to Terzaghi, the loaded soil means the soil is being loaded here. The load is being acting over the soil. Okay, through the footing, the load is acting. The loaded soil fails along the composite surface as shown in the figure, as shown in the above figure. So here it is shown. You can call it as a figure A, as shown in the figure A. I hope my writing is visible to you all.
Yes, sir, it's visible.
Okay. Now, according to him, the first one, he has taken the failure zones. I'll writing the failure zones. According to the Terzaghi, means whenever the load is acting or whenever the loaded soil fails along the composite surface, then how he has divided the zones. The failure zones in the figure A are, what are the failure zones? You also write zone 1. Zone 1 is a rigid body. He considered as a rigid body. It is in a state of plastic equilibrium. It won't be moving laterally. So as he has assumed the footing is rough, so because of that it behaves as if a part of a footing only, a rigid body, or you can call it a triangular zone or triangular zone. And zone 2 he called shear zone. It's a shear zone or zone of radial shear. And zone 3 he called as a passive zone, or he called as a Rankine passive zone. You can call it a Rankine's passive zone. You all heard about Rankine's theory? Earth pressure?
Yes, sir.
Active
Yes,
pressure,
sir.
active soil pressure and passive soil pressure. Have you heard, right?
Yes, sir.
So take this one, rigid body, 3 zones. Then the second one, again the failure lines. Failure lines in the figure A are again the failure lines in this figure. The failure lines I'm taking. You can take this one. Failure lines in this figure. Failure lines are he called the failure lines AB. So this is also one line. AB, BC, and DE. This one, DE and FG, which he treated as a straight lines. So these are straight lines. See the AB, BC, then DE and FG, he treated as a straight lines. Then what are the left out lines? Can you tell me?
Sir,
Sir,
CD, sir.
AF,
CD, AF.
AF and CD. AG.
AF and
AF, CD, AG, and CE.
Okay.
And AC also, sir.
And AC also. AC. Okay. So here the failure lines here we to take as a BF and BD. And these are the failure lines. He called this portion and this portion. So he considered this one AB, BC, DE and FG as a straight lines, and remaining BF and BD he considered as a logarithmic spiral having center at A and C respectively. And third one he considered. First he has considered some zones, zone 1, zone 2, zone 3. Then again in zone he called that lines One as he has called some lines as a straight lines and some lines are a logarithmic spiral like this. It is a in this manner spiral. And third, the forces acting in the rigid zone ABC are forces acting in the rigid zone ABC. That is rigid zone ABC means triangular portion ABC. Or what is the first force he has considered is the resultant passive earth pressure. So here, because he has considered the three zones of failure, so because of the passive earth pressure, this footing is been subjecting to the pressure also, and that is the forces which is acting in a rigid body. That is the resultant earth pressure, resultant passive earth pressure PP acts an angle pi with the normal to the surface, AB here, AB and BC, Okay, that part I'll draw. So how that passive pressure is acting, take this wedge central portion ABC and draw it in an enlarged view. That is a pre-body diagram of ABC. You draw it ABC, pre-body diagram of ABC. I'll draw that pre-body diagram of ABC here. I'll draw here itself. This is A, B, C. This central portion I have taken, the triangular zone I have taken, and the weight of the soil which is acting on it, surcharge is acting on this zone. I hope you're understanding.
Yes.
Here, this portion I have taken, and this angle is pi. This angle is also pi. This is the slope, that is a failure zone A, AB, and CB. That is failure lines, AB and CB. Then let us take this this central portion. This is exactly at the center. This point you mark as a M. And since this is lying under the footing, this here is the entire soil is present here, and the failure pattern of this soil is represented like this: zone 1, zone 2, zone 3. And some assumptions as he made, the footing is rough, and this part, the triangular part, whatever present here, it is in a state of elastic equilibrium. And also some of the forces which will be acting over this zone, they are the passive earth pressure, the passive force is acting, as well as the cohesion of the soil will come into picture here. The cohesion of the soil which will be acting along this failure line like this. The cohesion of the soil is, there is a moment of soil here, the cohesion that you call it as C, the cohesion that is to be taken into account. And also here it is written, what is it is written? The resultant passive earth pressure PP acts an angle pi with the normal to the surface AB and BC. So here AB, this is the failure line, and CB is also failure line. For this you have to draw one normal. I hope you're understanding. For this line you have to draw one normal. Are you understanding?
Sir, image not clear, sir.
Now it's clear.
Okay, sir. Yes, sir.
So for line AB, you have to draw one normal like this. You have to draw a normal line, and for BC also normal line. Okay. Then the passive pressure will be acting vertically like this. This is PP, passive earth pressure. See, away from the zone, whatever, if it is pushing the soil away, that will be active or passive. Heard in a retaining wall and all. If it is going the soil away from the structure, is it active earth pressure or passive earth pressure? Are you understanding my question?
Yes, sir.
If this is the retaining wall, so you all can see this is the retaining wall, and here is the soil present. If it is pushing the soil away, so is it a passive or active?
I
Passive.
think it is passive, sir.
Active. That is, if it is going away, it's active. It is coming towards, it is a passive. So here, whatever the soil present adjoining this triangular zone, which will be exerting pressure here. Are you getting my point? It is coming towards, that is passive. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
See, whenever the load is been acting, the footing, so it will exert pressure laterally, but it will resist it won't go away. It will again push this side only. That is a passive. It is exerting passive pressure. I hope you're understanding, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. So that, because it's very important, because I'm resolving the forces here, I need to consider for the derivation. So which is acting vertically here. Okay. This is acting vertically. And this is a passive pressure acting on the failure line AB as well as failure line BC, which is acting vertically. And this angle is pi. This angle is also pi. This angle is also pi. So here it is written. What is it written? I have the forces acting in the rigid zone ABC are the resultant passive earth pressure, because on this rigid zone ABC, the whatever the forces acting there, that I am listing here, the resultant passive earth pressure PP acts at an angle of pi with the normal to the surface AB and BC. So when you need to draw a normal line, this is a normal line, and with this the vertical line to be drawn, and that what we call as a passive earth pressure. And also along the failure lines, along this inclined lines, so one more force is acting. What is that force? Cohesion. Cohesion of the soil, which is mobilized over this surface, mobilizing over the surface. I hope you're understanding.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
And this total width of the footing is B, and if you consider half, this will be B by 2. B by 2. And the surcharge which is acting on this is QU, which is acting uniformly. Which is acting uniformly. He has considered that as a uniform assumption. And after this, the second load what he has considered is, I hope you have drawn this one. Have you drawn this one? This part.
Yes, sir.
Please draw this one neatly. You'll understand the derivation. If it's over, I'll go to the next. Second force he has considered on the wedge triangular zone as the force due to, you also write the force due to cohesion. The force due to cohesion C acts along the surface AB and BC, along the surface AB and BC. So look here, the cohesion forces, whatever the soil present adjoining to this. So this is exerting a force on this inclined surface, the failure lines. That is C, cohesion force, right? So that is the second force. The force due to cohesion C acts along the surface AB and BC. Then next is one more force. Which is the one more force acting? Can anyone tell? So I have taken two forces. What are those two forces I considered in this wedge? So in this wedge, the wedge shape or a triangular zone, I have taken it out, and this is you can call it as which one this is. The F, you can call it a free body diagram of triangular zone, figure B, free body diagram of triangular zone. So what are the two forces I have considered here as of now?
Passive earth pressure.
Yes, passive earth pressure
and cohesion pressure.
Cohesion force.
Cohesion force.
Yes, exactly. And one more force is acting, which is vertically down. What is that force?
Sir, QU, bearing, sir.
No, that is the weight of the soil, which is present
Gravitational
in this
force.
Yes, that is weight, because of weight of the soil. Correct. That is to be also taken into account. The third one is C. The third one, the weight of the soil present in wedge. The weight of the soil present in wedge ABC. Okay. And next is surcharge load. One more is surcharge load. Surcharge load. So here surcharge load is given as QU equal to, is it gamma into DF is a surcharge? This one. Surcharge load means whatever the depth present. So this is the footing level. Here is a ground level. How much is the depth from the ground till footing? DF. So it has a soil, that is a specific weight of soil as a gamma. So what is the surcharge we get here? What is the weight we get here? Gamma into DF. Understood?
Yes, sir.
QU is gamma into DF. So this is gamma into DF. Then let us calculate the weight of the soil. then you calculate how the weight of the soil present here. See, weight of rigid zone or weight of soil, weight of rigid cone, you can call it as a rigid cone. This triangular portion here is called as a rigid cone, or weight of wedge, or weight of wedge ABC. So how it can be calculated? Can anyone tell? So as you know, gamma, specific weight formula you all know. Can anyone tell what is specific weight formula? It is a ratio of, what is density?
Sir, I think mass by volume.
Mass by volume. What is specific weight? It's weight by volume.
Yes, sir.
Then what is weight?
Gamma into volume.
Gamma into volume. What is gamma in this case? What is gamma in this case? First, specific weight of soil. Specific weight of soil multiplied by the volume will get you the weight of the soil present in the wedge, this cone. Okay. So the same formula I'm applying here. Gamma multiplied by volume of soil in wedge ABC. Correct? Huh?
Yes, sir, it's correct.
Then gamma into, how will you get volume? Is it area multiplied by the unit length? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Area to be taken into unit length of this wedge. Then can anyone tell what is the area now? Gamma you keep as it is, this area.
Sir, half into base into.
Half into
base into height.
Base is AC. Height is it BM? Height is BM.
Yes, sir.
I taken this height as a M. Multiply by 1. Just 1. Unit length you've taken. So it will become volume now. Gamma into, then half. What is AC?
QU, sir.
AC is B. Correct? Huh? AC length.
Yes, sir. B.
Yes, sir.
B no. Into height I need to calculate that height BM. I'll calculate now. Then how to calculate that height? So here I'll write. So consider this one in this triangle. Consider this triangle. What is tan pi in that triangle? Can anyone tell what is tan pi? Is it opposite by adjacent?
Yes, sir.
So what we want? We want BM. So what is AM?
2, sir.
Is it correct?
Yes, sir.
Substitute here. Then what you get here? 1 by 4 gamma B square tan pi. Correct? Huh? Is it the weight?
Yes, sir.
Check ಮಾಡ್ರಿ ನೀವೇನು ಫಾಸ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ, simple ಕೇಳಿದ್ರು. Okay, so what is this one now? Tell me, what is this? What is this? What I obtained now?
Sir, weight, sir.
Weight, sir.
What weight of
the wedge ABC.
Okay, then the soil, the weight of the soil which is present in the wedge ABC. Now tell me, what is the direction of this weight?
Downward.
Yes, downward. Mark it here. Which is acting downward, right here. Acting downward. I hope you understood till now.
Yes, sir.
Any steps if you are not understood, you ask. Just simple. But only thing you
Sir, how?
Sir,
yes. How we considered unit length as 1, sir?
So usually whenever any derivation you make, it will be per unit length always.
Okay, sir.
Always. You cannot consider the whole length of the footing. Always it will be per unit.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Next, anything you want to ask? The only thing you have to remember how the failure zone he has considered. If you draw this zone, take the central portion out, then draw the free body diagram of that portion and mark all the forces on that free body diagram. So as he has categorized 3 types of forces, one is a passive pressure force, another is a cohesion force, and one more is a surcharge which is acting vertically downward. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So now we have calculated the weight, that is the surcharge, that is weight of the soil which is present in the wedge ABC which is acting vertically downward. And also 2 vertical forces which are acting in upward direction. This is acting in a downward direction, and 2 forces which are acting in the upward direction. So 2 You're all right. Also two vertical passive forces ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡ್ರಿ, ಟೂ ವರ್ಟಿಕಲ್ ಇದು ಪ್ಯಾಸಿವ್ ಫೋರ್ಸ್ ಹೆಂಗ್ ಆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ, ಹೌ ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಆಕ್ಟಿಂಗ್
upward sir.
ಅಪ್ವರ್ಡ್. ಈ ಕಡೆ ಒಂದಿದೆ, ಈ ಕಡೆ ಒಂದಿದೆ, ಎಷ್ಟಾಯ್ತು
Sir 2 sir.
ಈ ಕಡೆ ಒಂದಿದೆ, ಈ ಕಡೆ ಒಂದಿದೆ,
Pressure.
ಟೂ ಪ್ಯಾಸಿವ್ ಫೋರ್ಸ್ ಎರಡಾಯ್ತು, ಹೌದಾ? ಸೊ ದಟ್ ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ರೈಟ್, that is two vertical passive forces which is equal to 2 pp and the market which is acting upward. Okay, then I'll tell you how those two forces are vertical. ಅದು ಹೆಂಗ್ ಬಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ ಇವಾಗ, ಇದು ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ ಹೆಂಗೆ, how to resolve these forces. Resolution of forces will come into picture here, so you have to understand how the forces are being resolved here. Okay, then one more is and vertical component of cohesion and vertical component of cohesion. ಈಗ cohesion how it is acting, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಹೆಂಗ್ ಆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ಅದು cohesion force?
Inclined.
Sir 45
The
degree.
inclined upward direction.
Exactly, it is acting inclined. ಈಗ ಇದ ರಿಸಲ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಅಂತ ಕನ್ಸಿಡರ್ ಮಾಡೋಣ. ಈಗ ವಿಲ್ ಕನ್ಸಿಡರ್ ಇಟ್ as a resultant.
Yes sir.
Yes sir.
Then that resultant can be resolved into two component. ಹೌದಾ, ಮಾಡಬಹುದಾ?
Yes sir. And
If this is a resultant, C is the resultant acting inclined by making an angle of pi. ಈಗ ಒಂದು ಸರ್ಫೇಸ್ ಇದೆ, ಈಗ ಒಂದು ಫೋರ್ಸ್ ಆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ, ರಿಸಲ್ಟೆಂಟ್ is R, ಹೌದಾ? ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಮೇಕಿಂಗ್ ಅನ್ ಆಂಗಲ್ ಆಫ್ ಥೀಟಾ, ಇದು ರಿಸಲ್ಟೆಂಟ್. ಇದನ್ನ ಹೆಂಗ್ ರಿಸಾಲ್ವ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ, ಒಂದು ಹಾರಿಜಾಂಟಲ್ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ವರ್ಟಿಕಲ್ ಮಾಡಬಹುದಾ?
yes sir.
ಈಗ ಹಾರಿಜಾಂಟಲ್ ಏನಾಯ್ತು ಹೇಳ್ರಿ, ಆಂಗಲ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿದೆ, ಇಸ್ ಇಟ್ ಕಾಸ್?
Cos theta sir.
ಇದೇನಾಗುತ್ತೆ,
R sin theta.
ಇದ್ರದ್ದು ಎರಡರದ್ದು ಎಫೆಕ್ಟ್, ಸಮ್ ಆಫ್ ದೀಸ್ ಟು ಎಫೆಕ್ಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಸೇಮ್ ಆಸ್ ಆರ್.
Yes sir.
ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಾ?
Yes sir.
Okay, so the same concept here, the C is acting inclined illi, making an angle of what, pi. Okay, so here two vertical passive forces are taken 2 pp and vertical component of cohesion, that is also to be taken into account. Vertical component of cohesion forces at faces AB and BC is given by, ಎರಡು ಕಡೆ ಆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಫೇಸ್ ಎ ಬಿ ಮತ್ತೆ ಬಿ ಸಿ ಮೇಲೆ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡ್ರಿ, ಫೇಸ್ ಎ ಬಿ ಮತ್ತೆ ಫೇಸ್ ಬಿ ಸಿ ಕೊಹೇಜನ್ ಇದೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ, ಬೋತ್ ಸೈಡ್ ಕೊಹೇಜನ್ ಇಸ್ ದೇರ್.
Yes sir.
So we have to take it as a 2 times. So given by is equal to 2 times of C AB into sin pi. ಇವಾಗ ಇದು ಹೆಂಗ್ ಬಂತ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ, AB into sin pi. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡ್ರಿ, ಸೊ ಇದು ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಲ್ಲ ರೆಸಲ್ಯೂಷನ್?
Yes sir.
ಇವಾಗ ಅಗೈನ್ I'll draw that wedge portion, wedge part I'll draw here. ಇವಾಗ ಈ inclined ಇದು, this is pi, what is this one marked as a AB B C. Okay, this angle ಆಯ್ತು. Then can anyone tell what is the length of AB? This is B, this is B, and the half of this one is a B by 2. So can anyone tell what is the length of AB? How will you get the length of AB? What is cos pi?
Sir I think adjacent by hypotenuse.
Adjacent by hypotenuse, that is B by 2 divided by AB. Then what is
Yes,
AB?
sir.
AB
B
is
by 2 into cos phi.
B by 2 into B by
Cos
2
pi.
divided by cos pi, no?
Yes,
Correct? So that you write here. I'll write here this one. B by 2 divided by cos pi. This length. Is it clear?
Yes sir.
ಇದು length, inclined length B by 2 cos pi ಆಯ್ತಾ ಇದು? If I treat this
Yes,
as a the resultant, if I consider this as a resultant, if I resolve this one, this as well as this, can anyone tell what is this component? Horizontal component ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಇವಾಗ?
B by 2 sin phi.
Horizontal ರೀ. ಈಗ angle ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಜೊತೆಗಿದೆ angle ಯಾದ್ರ ಜೊತೆಗಿರ್ತದೆ? cos ಅಲ್ಲ always.
B by cos phi sir.
ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಈಗ? B by 2
cos pi. Cos pi by 2
divided by cos pi into
cos phi. Yes.
finally cos get cancel, only you'll get b by 2, right?
Yes, sir.
ತಿಳಿತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡ್ರಿ ಎ ಬಿ ಲೆಂತ್ ಏನಿದೆ ಹೇಳ್ರಿ,
B by 2 divided by cos phi, sir.
ಅದ ರಿಸಲ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಅಂತ ಕನ್ಸಿಡರ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ ನಾನು. ಇದು ರಿಸಲ್ಟೆಂಟ್.
Yes, sir.
If that resultant, if I want to resolve into one horizontal as well as one vertical, horizontal ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ again cos ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, vertical ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಇವಾಗ ಇದು cos ಆದ್ರೆ ಇದು ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ
sin, sir. sin.
ಹೇಳ್ರಿ ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಎಷ್ಟೈತಿ? b by 2
sin phi
divided by cos phi
into divided by cos phi into sin phi.
This is the answer. Okay, now what I want now, see here, I want vertical component of cohesion forces at faces AB and BC. I hope you understood. Now I got vertical component of cohesion. The cohesion was acting how? Inclined. That was C. Understood?
Yes, sir.
Now the vertical component of this C is what? B by 2 cos phi divided by sin phi, correct? Yes sir, no?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
ಇದು ಎರಡು ಕಡೆ ಆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಬರುತ್ತಾ? b by 2
yes
divided
yes,
by sin pi. So vertical component of cohesion and again vertical component of cohesion. So these two, shall I write 2 times of C as a cohesion into AB sin phi will get. Understood this one? AB sin phi. Then
Yes, sir.
this one I'll write because already I calculated AB here. So what is AB here? Already calculated AB.
B by 2 divided by
b by 2 cos phi.
That you have to substitute here. 2C into B by 2 cos pi into sin pi. You will get 2C B by 2. What is sin by cos?
Tan, sir.
Tan. Write it. Tan pi. This force is due to cohesion. What is the direction of this force? Is it upward or downward?
Upward.
Upward. That you have to mark here. Then after this, then you have to consider the equilibrium conditions. I hope you all taken the forces. One force is acting downward, and again the 2 forces which are acting upward. One is due to passive earth pressure. Other one is due to what? Cohesion. I hope till now you understood, all of you.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now I need to consider the equilibrium position of the wedge. Okay. Considering equilibrium condition. Considering equilibrium condition of the wedge. Okay. Condition. At equilibrium. So if the wedge to be in equilibrium. So can you tell me what is the condition if it is to be in equilibrium? Total downward force is equal to total upward force. ಅವಾಗ equilibrium ಇರ್ತೈತಿದ? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
ಇದು ಮೇಲ್ಗಡೆ if ಒಂದು ಎಷ್ಟು ಫೋರ್ಸ್ ಬರ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಫೋರ್ಸ್ ಕೆಳಗಡೆಯಿಂದ ಬರ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ this will be under equilibrium. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
So now what I do, I'll equate it. Total downward forces is equal to total upward forces. ಇವಾಗ downward force ಯಾವ್ದು ಹೇಳ್ರಿ?
Weight of the wedge.
Yes, weight of the wedge. ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಏನು ಬರುತ್ತೆ ಹೇಳ್ರಿ? The weight ಒಂದು ಆಯ್ತಾ, which is acting vertically downward. ಇನ್ನೊಂದು surcharge ಬರುತ್ತಾ?
Yes, sir.
ಅಂದ್ರೆ QU is the load uniformly acting. QU into B ತಗೋಬೋದಾ?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡ್ರಿ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ. ಇದು ಬೀಮ್ ಇದೆ, ಇದ್ರ ಮೇಲೆ UDL ಇದೆ, ಇದ್ರ ವಿಡ್ತ್ B ಐತಿ, ಇದು UDL W ಇದೆ. ಈಗ ಇದು ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಲೋಡ್ ಹೆಂಗ್ ಕೌಂಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಿ? ಇದು UDL
length, weight into the distance into half of the distance.
That is moment. ನೀವು
Okay, only the weight into distance.
Yes, weight into distance. W into B, correct? Understood this one?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Same here. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಬರೀ. ಈಗ ಇದು QE is a uniformly distributed load. UDL. QU ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಈಗ ನನಗೆ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಲೋಡ್ ಬೇಕಾಗಿದೆ. ಓನ್ಲಿ ಇನ್ ದಿಸ್ ಫುಟಿಂಗ್ ಅಷ್ಟೇ. ಈ ಫುಟಿಂಗ್ ಎಷ್ಟು ಹೇಳ್ರಿ? ಇದು QE is a UDL into B ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದಾ?
QU into B, sir.
Yes. How it is acting?
Vertically downward.
Yes. That is to be taken. That is total downward force. QU into B plus one more force calculate ಮಾಡಿದೋಣ ಯಾವ್ದದ?
Weight of the wedge.
Yes, weight of the wedge. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡ್ರಿ. weight of the wedge. Idhan plus 1/4 gamma b square tan pi. Idondu ivu downward forces. Hange tell me the upward forces. Upward forces yavadu ಹೇಳಿ?
2c into b
sir,
by 2 2pp sir
2pp plus
2c b by 2 tan pi sir.
2c b by 2 tan pi. Correct. I hope you understood all of you. Okay. ಇವಾಗ take this term. ಕಾಣ್ತಾ ಇದೆಯಲ್ಲ ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ? ಕಾಣ್ತಾ ಇದೆಯಲ್ಲ?
yes sir.
Yes sir.
Now take this term this side. I'll write QU into B is equal to 2PP plus here 2 get cancels. BC tan pi minus 1/4 gamma B square tan pi. Okay. Let us call this equation number 1. Ivaga this PP. PP and heading. PP and heading.
Passive pressure sir.
Yes, passive pressure. Passive earth pressure. Remember, this passive earth pressure has a 3 components here. I'll take that one. 3 components here. PP. What is that? PP. That is a resultant passive pressure. Try to understand here. Resultant passive pressure. On surface, on which surface it is acting? On surface, which surface? Tell me. AB and BC, correct? Yes or no?
Yes sir. On the rigid body sir.
Yes sir. Has the 3 components. It has 3 components. First one, it has 3 components. That is due to, first one I'll take PP gamma. This passive earth pressure can be produced in a wedge due to earth pressure. Right here, produced by the weight of the soil. Weight of the soil in shear zone. BCDE. In shear zone BCDE. Assuming the soil is cohesionless, that is C value is 0, and negligible surcharge. The surcharge is negligible here. And so the surcharge is negligible. Assuming the soil is cohesionless and surcharge is negligible. Second one that can be expressed, PPC produced by the soil cohesion. Where the weight of the soil is taken as a 0, and also the surcharge is negligible, Q equal to 0. And the third one is PPQ, which is produced by the surcharge Q, but where the weight of the soil is considered as 0 and the soil is assumed as cohesionless soil. I hope you understood this one. 3. Any doubt you ask here? Any doubt here?
No sir.
You understood? No means ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡ್ರಿ, ಇದು PP ಏನಿದೆಯಲ್ಲ, ಇದು PP ಏನ್ ಹೇಳ್ರಿ? ದಿಸ್ ಟರ್ಮ್ ಏನ್ ಹೇಳ್ರಿ?
Passive pressure.
Resultant passive pressure.
Resultant pressure.
A resultant passive pressure, it has 3 components. ಅದನ್ನು 3 components ಅಂತ ಡಿವೈಡ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. You may get a passive earth pressure because of what? Because of weight of the soil. Weight of soil ಇಂದನೂ passive pressure ಬರಬಹುದು. Because of what? Cohesion ಇಂದನೂ ಬರಬಹುದು. Because of what? Surcharge ಇಂದನೂ ಬರಬಹುದು. ತಿಳಿತಾ?
Yes sir.
ಹೇಳಿ ತಿಳಿತಾ? ಅಂಡರ್ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಆಯ್ತಾ?
Yes sir.
That passive pressure on the wedge triangular zone can be produced because of the 3 components. Because of the weight of the soil present in a shear zone, and where when we are considering the weight of the soil, rest 2 are to be taken as a 0, negligible. Cohesion less ಅಂತ consider ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, surcharge 0 ಐತೆ ಅಂತ consider ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. Only you have to take that passive earth pressure is due to the weight of the soil. Second ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು consider ಮಾಡಬೇಕು? ಓನ್ಲಿ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಡ್ಯೂ ಟು ದ ಕೊಹೇಜನ್. ಕೊಹೇಜನ್ ಕನ್ಸಿಡರ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ರೆಸ್ಟ್ ಟು ಆರ್ ಜೀರೋ. ಯಾವ್ದಾವ್ದ ಹೇಳ್ರಿ? ಕೊಹೇಜನ್ ಅಂತ ಕನ್ಸಿಡರ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಯಾವ್ದು ಜೀರೋ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಹೇಳ್ರಿ ಫಾಸ್ಟ್?
ವೇಟ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಸರ್ಚಾರ್ಜ್.
ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಮೂರನೇದು ಹೇಳ್ರಿ. ಹೌ ಯು ಜಸ್ಟಿಫೈ ದಿಸ್ ಒನ್? ಥರ್ಡ್ ಒನ್ ಹೆಂಗ್?
Resultant passive pressure can be produced by surcharge,
Yes.
where the weight is zero and the soil is cohesionless.
Yes, exactly. If
Zero.
you understood this much, then you will understand this equation now. Okay. Now, with this, now can we write this one with that Iwaka? So shall I write that PP is equal to sum of all three?
Yes,
Can I
sir.
write like this?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, like this you can write. Okay. Now, putting these all three values A, B, C, whatever we have calculated, A, B, C, ಏನು ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದೇವಲ್ಲ, you substitute in equation number 1. ಇಲ್ಲಿ substitute ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. I'll write here. Putting the values of A, B, and C in equation 1. What we get in equation 1? ಈ equation substitute ಮಾಡ್ರಿ. QU into B, ನೋಡಿ QU into B ಕಾಣ್ತಾ ಇದೆಯಲ್ಲ?
Yes, sir.
QU into B.
ಸರ್, ಸಮ್ ಆಫ್ ಇಕ್ವೇಶನ್ ದಾಗ PPQ ಅಂತ ಬರ್ದಿಲ್ಲ ಸರ್. PP ಗಾಮಾ 2 ಸಲ ಬರ್ದಿದ್ರಿ ಸರ್.
ಹಾ, ಎಸ್ ಇದು ಗಾಮಾ, ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಬರ್ದಿನಿ, ಇದು Q. ಓಕೆ, ರೈಟ್, ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್. ನಾವು ಇವಾಗ QU into B 2 times of ಹಿಂಗ್ ಬರೀರಿ, PP gamma plus PPC plus PPQ, then plus BC tan pi, ಅದು equation 1 ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಸಬ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ರಿ, minus 1/4 gamma B square tan pi. I hope you understood. I have substituted in the above equation all of. ಗೊತ್ತಾಯ್ತಾ?
Yes, sir.
ಓಕೆ, ಇವಾಗ ಅಗೇನ್ ಸಿಂಪ್ಲಿಫೈ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಿದೆ. ದೆನ್ QU into B, ಇವಾಗ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಸಿಂಪ್ಲಿಫೈ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಾ? 2 into I'll take PP gamma one term, along with that one 1/4 of gamma B square tan pi one term. ಆಮೇಲೆ ರಿಮೈನಿಂಗ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಸಪರೇಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ರಿ. ಅಗೇನ್ 2 into PPC, that is due to cohesion, again plus BC into tan pi, then plus 2 into PPQ. Let us call this equation number 2. ತಿಳಿತಿದಾ?
Yes, sir.
ಸಿಂಪಲ್, ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಸಿಂಪ್ಲಿಫೈ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ. ಇವಾಗ ಲೇಟರ್ ದ ಟರ್ಮ್ಸ್ಗೆ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ರಿಪ್ಲೇಸ್ಡ್ ಅಗೇನ್ ದೀಸ್ ಟರ್ಮ್ಸ್. ಈ ಟರ್ಮ್ಸ್ ರಿಪ್ಲೇಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾನೆ, ಮತ್ತೆ ಅವನು ಇದು ಟರ್ಮ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ರಿಪ್ಲೇಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾನೆ. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ವಿಲ್ ಸಿ ದಟ್ ಟರ್ಮ್. ದೆನ್ ಫೈನಲಿ ವಿ ಗೆಟ್ ಒನ್ ಇಕ್ವೇಶನ್, ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ದ ಟರ್ಮ್ಸ್ಗೆ ಬೇರಿಂಗ್ ಕೆಪಾಸಿಟಿ ಇಕ್ವೇಶನ್. ಇಲ್ಲಿವರೆಗೆ ಬರ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರಿ? ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಯು ರಿಟನ್ ದಿಸ್ ಒನ್?
ಸರ್, ಬರ್ಕೊಳಕ್ತಿ ಸರ್ ಲಾಸ್ಟ್.
ಓಕೆ, ಬರ್ಕೊಡ್ರಿ. ಸೊ ಪ್ರಾಕ್ಟೀಸ್ ಬೇಕಾಕೈತ್ರಿ. ಸೊ ಪ್ರಾಕ್ಟೀಸ್ ಇಟ್, ವಿಲ್ ಅಂಡರ್ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಇಟ್.
Yes, sir.
ಓವರ್?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Next, after this one, this is the equation we get. Then idadmele ivaga let he replaced, he took that is 2 PP gamma minus 1/4 gamma B square tan pi. He replaced that one. He took B into half gamma into B n gamma, and also he took 2 PPC plus BC into tan pi second term is equal to BC NC, and finally the last term 2 into PPQ B gamma DF NQ. ಓಕೆ, ಇವಾಗ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡಿ 3 ಟರ್ಮ್ ಇದೆ, ಮತ್ತೆ 1 2 3. ಓಕೆ, ದೆನ್ he replaced this one, this term. Okay, like this. About this, you don't worry. So this is again bearing capacity factors will come. There is a one table to refer to get the answer for this one. They are called as a bearing capacity factors. He has replaced that term. Then finally, after substituting in the above equation, substituting it barkontrellaro.
Sir, barlikati.
In above equation, substituting in above equation. Andre idu replace ಮಾಡ್ತಾನೆ ಅವನು ಇದೆಲ್ಲ. ಅದು ಮ್ಯಾಗಿನ್ ಇದು equation ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನ್ term ಇದಾವಲ್ಲ, he will replace this one, this term, these all terms he will replace. ಬರ್ಕೊಡ್ರಿ. Over?
Yes sir.
Okay. ಇವಾಗ ಇದ ಸಬ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ರಿ above equation ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನ್ ಬರುತ್ತಾ, QU into B is equal to B into half gamma B n gamma one term plus e term ಏನು ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ರಿಪ್ಲೇಸ್ B into C n C and ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಟರ್ಮ್ ಏನಿದೆ B into ಹೇಳ್ರಿ
gamma df into nq.
ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್. ಇವಾಗ ಇದು ಎಲ್ಲದರ B ಕಾಮನ್ ಇದೆ, ಹೌದಾ?
Yes sir.
ಈ ಕಡೆನೂ B ಇದೆ, ಈ ಕಡೆನೂ B ಇದೆ. B get cancels, then I'll get QU equal to ಇಲ್ಲಂತಿ 2B ಇದೆ, 1B ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಉಳಿದೈತಿ. then half ಅದನ್ನ ನಾನು ಹೆಂಗ್ ಬರೀಬಹುದು, 0.5 ಅಂತ ಬರೀಬಹುದಾ, ಹೌದಲ್ಲ?
Yes sir.
So gamma into B, then you write n gamma plus ಇಲ್ಲಿ B ಅಂತ cancel ಆಗಿದೆ because I taken it as a common. So what you get here, tell me this term. Second term ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ ಹೇಳ್ರಿ? B cancel ಆದ್ಮೇಲೆ
C 1 by point.
ಇಲ್ಲಿ ರೀ ಈ ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಟರ್ಮ್
Only
C into nc.
ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಥರ್ಡ್ ಟರ್ಮ್ ಹೇಳ್ರಿ,
df into nq.
gamma into df into nq,
Sorry, gamma into df into nq.
Yes. This is the final equation of Terzaghi ಇದೆ derivation. Say equation number 3. ಇವಾಗ ಇಲ್ಲಿ this equation is called as a Terzaghi's bearing capacity equation. This is what? Terzaghi's bearing capacity equation. ಇದನ್ನ ನೀವು ನೆನಪಿಟ್ಕೋಬೇಕು. This should be remembered for solving the problems. ಇವಾಗ ಇದು ಗಾಮಾ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು ಹೇಳ್ರಿ? ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಗಾಮಾ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು? Weight
That
is specific weight. Say the specific weight of soil.
Specific weight of soil.
Yes. B ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು ಹೇಳ್ರಿ?
Sir, breadth
is
of
the
the
length, breadth of the wedge.
No, don't say here now wedge. Say it as a width of the footing. Okay. C ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು ಹೇಳ್ರಿ?
Cohesion.
Cohesion, that will be given whether it is a cohesive or a cohesionless. If it is a cohesive, its value will be given. If it is a cohesionless, its value will be 0. Correct?
Yes sir.
Okay. Amel next. DF ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು ಹೇಳ್ರಿ?
Sir, depth of the soil.
Or footing, depth of footing from the ground level. Okay. ಈಗ ಲೆಫ್ಟ್ ಔಟ್ ಟರ್ಮ್ ಯಾವ್ದನ್ನ ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಹೇಳ್ರಿ, ಯಾವ್ದನ್ನ ಹೇಳಿಲ್ಲ. ಈಗ ಇಕ್ವೇಶನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದಷ್ಟು ಟರ್ಮ್ ಕೇಳಿದೆ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ, ಉಳಿಕಿದ್ದ ಟರ್ಮ್ ಕೇಳಿಲ್ಲ, ಯಾವ್ದದ?
Sorry, NC, n gamma.
ಮತ್ತೊಂದು ಯಾವ್ದು?
NQ.
So those are called as a Terzaghi's bearing capacity factors. So that you have to take from one table. He has given for different cohesive and different angles. That is a friction angle pi. He has given one table, that table to be referred. So in exam, those values will be given in a problem. NC, NQ and n gamma values will be given. Then you have to calculate the ultimate bearing capacity of the foundation. That QU is nothing but ultimate bearing capacity of the foundation. From this formula, you have to calculate the ultimate bearing capacity of the foundation. So where here NC, NQ and n gamma are the Terzaghi's bearing capacity. Terzaghi's bearing capacity factors. To refer the table for that one. Terzaghi's bearing capacity factors. So this is a general equation to calculate the ultimate bearing capacity. And again, the same formula to be applied for different shapes of footing, rectangular, circular or square footing. Then it will be modified later. The values of these factors will get modified. and we'll see it that in the next class. So I hope till here the derivation you all have understood. If you have any doubt, you ask.
Yes, sir.
Because I took almost 2 hours to solve this one. But if you go through this derivation, you can easily understand. And the only thing is this to be remembered. This is very important. This is, you remember this formula. So many of the problems will be asked in the problem on this formula. This is important for us. Sometimes they may ask a derivation or they may not, but the end solution is important. So what are NC, NQ and N gamma?
The targeting bearing capacity factors.
Okay, that I'll show you that factors. Just you look here. So is it visible the screen?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Okay. The same here, the assumptions, whatever I have taken, the initially the depth of foundation is less than or equal to its width, means he has considered the shallow depth. Initially he has assumed. Also the second one is the base of the footing he has assumed as a rough. That's why he has considered the central portion, that is wedge portion, as the part of the footing only. And soil above the bottom of the foundation has no shear strength, is only a surcharge load against the overturning moment. Means whatever the soil present, the adjacent to the footing above the ground, he has not taken into consideration. He has taken only the surcharge above the footing. Surcharge up to the base of the footing is considered. Means up to the base of the footing he has considered the surcharge up to here. Okay, we can I'll mark here up to. So up to here he has considered the surcharge up to the base. Okay, surcharge up to the base of the footing he has considered, and the load applied is vertical and non-eccentric. Non-eccentric ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು ಹೇಳ್ರಿ? Load applied ಮಾಡಿದ vertical ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ. Non-eccentric ಅಂದ್ರೆ
ಸರ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಅಸೆಂಟ್ರಿಸಿಟಿ ಅಪ್ಲೈ ಆಗಿರಂಗಿಲ್ರಿ ಸರ್.
ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನ? Load to be considered concentric. ತಿಳಿತಾ?
Yes.
Not eccentric,
Yes,
concentric.
Yes.
That is, they are the assumption he made. There may be a chances of acting eccentric also, but he has neglected that one. ಆಮೇಲೆ soil is homogeneous and isotropic. ಆಮೇಲೆ L by ratio is infinite. Okay, again the represent the active Rankine zone, passive zone, and again the rigid zone he has considered. Then this is the diagram of that Terzaghi's soil failure pattern, and this he has divided into 3 parts. Okay, I explain ಮಾಡಿದೀನಿ. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಇದು equation we derived. ಚೈತಲ್ಲ, this equation we derived.
Yes, sir.
ಇದು equation ಬಂದಿದೆ ನಮಗೆ. This first term is because of the cohesion. Second term is because of the overburden. Third is because of the frictional angle. Okay, so this we have derived. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡ್ರಿ. Can you see this slide, all of you?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡ್ರಿ. Contribution of this ultimate bearing capacity is contribution of what? Shear strength, ಮತ್ತೆ surcharge, ಮತ್ತೆ
soil sulfate.
ಸಲ್ಫೇಟ್. ಇಷ್ಟು ತಿಳ್ಕೊಂಡು ಸಾಕು ನೀವು. ತಿಳಿತಲ್ಲ?
Yes, sir.
ಆಮೇಲೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡಿ ಕೆಳಗಡೆ ನೋಡಿ ಜನರಲ್ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ Terzaghi's bearing capacity theory. This is general form. I have taken as a C here. They are taken as C dash. Both are same only. But again he introduced some terms here. Again, regarding this I will discuss in the next class. These terms ಏನಂತ ಹೇಳಿ. Okay, ಈಗ ಇದೇನಿದೆ SC and SY the shape factors. ಅಂದ್ರೆ different shapes of the footing will be present. Strip footing ಇರ್ತೈತಿ, ರೌಂಡ್ ಇರ್ತೈತಿ, ಸ್ಕ್ವೇರ್ ಇರ್ತೈತಿ. ಅದಕ್ಕೆಲ್ಲ ಇವೆಲ್ಲ ಶೇಪ್ ಫ್ಯಾಕ್ಟರ್ ತಗೋಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ. These will be given in the problem, and with this you have to solve the problems. Okay, text book ಯಾವ್ದು ರೆಫರ್ ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೈತ್ರಿ?
Sir, ಇಲ್ಲೇ ಇಲ್ರಿ sir text book.
Sir, we don't have textbook, sir.
You download it. You will get in the online. You download it. Notes also download ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಡ್ರಿ. ಯಾವ್ದಾರ ಈ ನಂದು ರೆಫರ್ ಮಾಡ್ರಿ ಸ್ಲೈಡ್. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಬಿಸಿ ಪುಡಿಮೆ ಇದ್ರೆ ರೆಫರ್ ಮಾಡ್ರಿ. ಓಕೆ, ಇಲ್ಲ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಸಾಲ್ವ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ. ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ಸ್ ಇನ್ ಡೋಂಟ್ ವರಿ ಅಬೌಟ್ ದ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ಸ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಡೆರಿವೇಶನ್ ಐ ವಿಲ್ ಡೂ ಹಿಯರ್. ಓಕೆ, ಬಟ್ ದ ಥಿಯರಿ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಟೇಕ್ ಕೇರ್. ಓಕೆ,
Yes, sir.
ನಾನು ಶೇರ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ ಲೇಟರ್, ಬಟ್ ನೀವು ಕೂಡ ಕಲೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ರಿ. ಸುಮ್ಮ ಕುತ್ಕೋಬೇಡ್ರಿ. ಕಲೆಕ್ಟ್ ದ ನೋಟ್ಸ್, ಡೌನ್ಲೋಡ್ ಇಟ್. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡ್ರಿ, ಇದು again the bearing capacity formula. Again we'll discuss about this one. This S gamma, SQ and SC as the shape factors. ಫುಟಿಂಗ್ ಶೇಪ್ ಫ್ಯಾಕ್ಟರ್ಸ್ ಅದ್ರ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂಸ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರ್ತಾರೆ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ, ಅದನ್ನ ಡಿಸ್ಕಷನ್ ಮಾಡೋಣ ಅವಾಗ ನೋಡಿ. ಸೊ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಯು ಸಿ ದಿಸ್ ಟೇಬಲ್ ಆಲ್ ಆಫ್ ಯು?
Yes sir.
ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡ್ರಿ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಆಂಗಲ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದೆ, ಫ್ರಿಕ್ಷನಲ್ ಆಂಗಲ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದೆ ಪೈ, ಆಮೇಲೆ ಎನ್ ಸಿ, ಎನ್ ಕ್ಯೂ ಅಂಡ್ ಎನ್ ಗಾಮಾ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಫಾರ್ ಡಿಫ್ರೆಂಟ್ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ 0, 1, 2, 3 ಆಂಗಲ್ಗೆ. ಇದ್ರ ಎನ್ ಸಿ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಎಷ್ಟು ಬರುತ್ತೆ, ಎನ್ ಕ್ಯೂ ಎಷ್ಟು ಬರುತ್ತೆ, ಎನ್ ಗಾಮಾ ಎಷ್ಟು ಬರುತ್ತಾ, ಈ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂನ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ, ತಿಳಿತಾ? ಕೊಡ್ಲಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇದೇನಿದೆ ಟೇಬಲ್, ಇದೊಂದು ಜೆರಾಕ್ಸ್ ತಗೊಂಡು ಸೈನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ತಗೊಂಡೋಗ್ಬೇಕು ಕ್ಲಾಸಿಗೆ. ಓಕೆ, ಇದನ್ನ ಎಕ್ಸಾಮಿಗೆ ತಗೊಂಡೋಗ್ಬೇಕು, ಇದೊಂದೇ ಟೇಬಲ್. ಸೊ ವಿತ್ ದಿಸ್ ಐ ವಿಲ್ ವೈಂಡ್ ಅಪ್ ದ ಟುಡೇಸ್ ಸೆಷನ್. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕಂಟಿನ್ಯೂ ಮಾಡೋದು, ಡಿಫರೆಂಟ್ ಶೇಪ್ ಫ್ಯಾಕ್ಟರ್ಸ್ ವಿಲ್ ಡಿಸ್ಕಸ್. Okay, I hope you understood the today's class derivations. This derivation I have done.
Yes,
please
sir.
practice this derivation. All of you practice this one. If you have any doubt, you ask in the next class, because this is very, very important. The first part is, it was only theoretical part. The theory we have discussed. From here onwards, the problems will start, derivations, then the footing designs will start. But you have to understand the basic definition of the bearing capacity and all. Whatever I discussed, you please go through the definitions, try to understand the simple terms and the basics also. Okay. So with this, we'll wind up the today's session. I'll stop.